Hello everybody, and welcome back to Kerbal Space Program, where we are currently taking our second flight up to Salyut-3, not flee. We're not fleeing from anything except maybe Kerbal, I suppose. And we definitely did not launch at an ideal time. We're going to have to do a big ol' inclination change here. Luckily, we've got plenty of Delta V to get that done. It is going to be about a 4-minute burn, so we're definitely going to need to physics warp it, but that's okay. We've got about 13 seconds until this burn begins, and let's just get ready for it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. And off we go. Go to the node, please. Okay. Smart ASS forgot what we were aiming at, but there we go. We're back at the node. Excellent. And let's just get this inclination change done. I'm noticing the periapsis height going negative here. That's pretty exciting. But it should get changed soon enough. In theory. Hopefully the node isn't fundamentally broken. Hopefully we can trust the node. For now, we're seeing time to apoapsis is still 1 minute and 18 seconds, so we've got lots of time for this burn. Let's just bring this right on around. We're seeing the periapsis height going significantly negative here. But that is, I think, to be expected as we rotate this around. It's a big inclination change. No doubt about that. Gonna be about 4 minutes in total on this burn, and we've got about 3 left. So that all seems good. We can see our debris here on the original path, so we can see how much we've changed our orbit already. It is pretty significant. We should be starting to see this periapsis height coming back up fairly soon. We're at the apoapsis right now, so we're starting to fall back down, but we're over halfway through this burn. So it should, in theory, be reasonably fine. In theory. Hopefully the node isn't broken, but it really shouldn't be. No, we're definitely seeing that periapsis height coming back up. Our orbital velocity is on the way up. And yeah, this is certainly not an efficient way to get this done, but it is a way to get it done. So let's come out of physics warp, and let's bring this on down. About 50 meters per second to go. And this last little bit. Cool. We'll call this good enough. So that puts us in an orbit. We don't really care about what orbit, as long as our ascending-descending node is okay. We're still about 1 degree off, so let's make another inclination change here. And we'll just fine-tune that a little bit to be somewhere like that. Okay, let's head around to the node. That's going to be another 33.5 meters per second, and that's probably because Smart ASS didn't know that we were aiming at the node at the beginning there. That was a lot of thrust to weight that we had at the beginning. And that probably just threw us off a little bit. So that's okay. We've got about 5 minutes until this secondary correction inclination change. Cool. And 50 seconds. 40, 30, 20, 10, and right now. Came out of that a little bit late, but that's fine. This should be good enough. 0.0? 0.0. I like it. So now we can look at what would happen if we attempted to do a rendezvous. Okay, awkward timing indeed. What happens if we delay this in orbit? Ooh, it gets more awkward. Okay. So this is going to be a fair amount of delays then. Noted. So we're going to have to bring this all the way on around to about here. And we would end up running the burn about here at this point. So that would be fine. This is going to be 7.6 kilometers. We can definitely dial that in a bit if we wanted to. There's no reason to, really. There's really no reason to dial it in. We can do that with corrective burns on the way. So no problem whatsoever there. Let's just get aligned for this burn. It is going to be in several orbits, which is unsurprising, I suppose. Given how inefficiently we've launched this, it's deeply unsurprising. So let's warp on over. Phenomenal. Again, it's going to be several orbits here. About 1 more orbit, and there we go. So now we're about 1 minute away here 40 seconds. 30, 20, 10, and 4, 3, 2, 1, 0, mark. And there's the burn basically over. We'll just get that last little bit in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but we'll just do it like so. Perfect. And now we can see that we're about 7.6 kilometers apart. So let's warp around to about here. We'll go into target mode. And let's see what we need for corrections. What is our relative speed going to be? 37.8. Okay, looks good. So 37.8 meters per second means that we should be on the prograde side here. We're definitely a little bit slow to turn. We want to, of course, push this, or rather pull this node over here. We're going prograde side, so we want to pull the node. It's a pretty decent corrective burn that needs to happen, but yeah, that's not too bad. Okay, we'll call that good for now. We'll need to head over to relative velocity minus, and we basically doubled our speed there, which is completely okay. We've got 400 meters per second left. We're going to burn off at least a quarter of that with our braking. So we'll see what that ends up looking like. But we do have some fuel left here. And of course, plenty left in our actual Soyuz. So this is fine. No problem whatsoever here. We're going to need to do another corrective burn down this direction-ish. Okay, that's not affecting our trajectory all that much. Let's just throttle it up a little bit. There we go, that's better. So that'll do for now. We're going to want additional corrective burns, although we're not very far away right now. We're only about 1 kilometer apart. So we should really start thinking about braking here. Yeah, I'm going to brake at about 500 meters. Okay, braking. We're going to take this down to about 10 meters per second. There we go. And let's do a small corrective burn out this direction. There we go. And then relative velocity minus. Let's see here. We're coming in. This is the other Soyuz here. So we're going to want to be... This is basically an ideal trajectory to be on, isn't it? I mean, that's orienting now. It's no longer an ideal trajectory to be on because of that orientation. Okay, that's fine. So let's bring this on down. We're going to need to kill our velocity. 3 meters per second. 2, 1, and... Okay, 0.1. That's fine. Let's just go to target plus. Well, actually, let's kill rot. And let's just position it around... Well, we know we need to be, like, right here, right? So that'll be fine. Rotating it very slowly on over. We've got a lot of extra weight here, for sure. I want to set this guy as our target, so that way we'll be at least out this direction, right? But I want to overshoot it a little bit and be somewhere more like... We need to go down, not up here. Okay, we need to be something more like... here-ish for our angling. Emphasis on ish. We'll go in at about 1.2 meters per second. That'll be fine. And let's get this pivoted right on around. We could ditch this fuel. I'm actually not going to. We'll keep this fuel around just in case. We don't need it. But we'll keep it just in case. So let's physics warp our way around here. Keeping an eye on this trajectory. This solar panel is probably fine. Probably fine. But I'm still going to rotate us around like so, just to be on the safe side. Okay. Now I want to wait until we're basically in line here. Which is approximately now-ish. Let's just slow this down a wee bit. And let's come to a halt. Okay, kill rot, please. Kill rot. Okay, just using RCS to kill our relative velocity. That'll be fine. So now let's go towards target. And we'll want to line up our solar panels. It's really probably not ideal for them to all be in a perfect line like this. So we really would probably want these to be like cross-hatched, is my guess. But this is good enough. So, how far away are we going to be? I want to control from here, although that's not going to change anything. We're about 8 meters away right now. Let's just get lined on up. About 6 meters apart. Okay. And we can definitely see there's a little bit of angling issues, but I mean, that's easy enough to solve. We can just hop over here, set as target, control from here, and no, I want you to be on towards target, please. You don't need to be on retrograde. We can see this turned as well because it's pointing at this target. So now these are going to get lined up. We don't need to move the station very much. There we go. And at this point, we can see we're not exactly in line here. I want to switch our angling for our solar panels a little bit. And in we go. This should be close enough for docking forces to take over. Although we could certainly change our trajectory a bit here. Yep, all is good. So we are now docked. We have our second flight here, and we've got a little bit of extra fuel left in it. So that is wonderful. So now that we've arrived here, these guys who never actually disembarked could head home. And they probably will. Yes. So let's just bring these guys on home. So we're going to undock our other crew, although let's transfer these guys out, and we'll transfer them into the actual station here. There we go. And we're going to undock this. Fantastic. And of course, we're going to move our Soyuz right on away here. There we go. Let's hop on over to retrograde. And we can deorbit this if we want. The question is, ooh, this is a lot of continent here. That's good. But is there a lot of continent up here? The answer is no. But maybe that's fine. Let's see what this would end up looking like. We've got a lot of delta V here. So let's bring this right on down. And let's put our periapsis at about 10 kilometers here. We do have a lot of delta V. Let's go to horizontal velocity minus. And let's just burn this out. We're going to take a very steep re-entry here. Very, very steep indeed. We're going to get rid of our horizontal speed here. We're going to keep some fuel around to try to slow ourselves down a bit for our parachutes. That would be good. This is going to be interesting. But I'm pretty sure we'll be okay on it. We've got 100 seconds of burn time left here, right? So that'll be fine. The station is, of course, long gone at this point. I don't even know where it is in relation to us. But back here. There it is. About 10 kilometers away. Phenomenal. So we're killing our horizontal speed here, with the goal being we want to have our landing target be on this continent, which it currently is. We can see that it's right there. Okay, cool. So we're going to keep any additional, and we want to be on retrograde, or I guess surface velocity minus. Okay, we want to keep any additional fuel for a bit of a re-entry burn, because this is going to be a bit of a spicy one. We're going to be coming down steep and fast. So we're going to bring this down to about 100 kilometers, and that's when we're going to start our re-entry burn. Okay, I overshot that a little bit. But let's bring this on down. Our speed is not too bad, but we're now going to burn out what we can from here. So we've got about 60 seconds of burn left. This should be a plenty controlled re-entry. We just want to guarantee a land landing, right? That's the idea. We cannot retract these photovoltaic panels. They're going to burn up anyway, no matter how we slice it. So that's absolutely fine. How much monoprop do we have? We could use monoprop here as well, but I'm not that concerned about it. I mean, our speed is already kind of low. So it should be relatively okay. We can see our impact time is about 45 seconds, but we're continuing to slow this right on down. We've got about 30 seconds of fuel left here, but we might not burn off all of it. I'm keeping an eye on our impact time. Okay, I'm going to jettison remaining fuel now. And we're going to slow down using our drag here. And yeah, this doesn't go anywhere. It is jettisoned, though. So that's okay. It may start blowing up, but we can see we're slowing down dramatically, and this is fine. We're completely okay at this point. So there we go. We separate, and we can get our drogues out now. That was definitely a lot more Delta V on the re-entry than our usual re-entry fare, but it's absolutely fine here. No problem whatsoever. So let's physics warp this down to the ground. And that is one of our Soyuz flights completed. So that, of course, means that we need to get our payment for that flight. And there we go. Phenomenal. And downward we fall. One drogue chute deploys, or actually our drogue chutes deploy, both of them. We definitely would be concerned if only one drogue chute deployed. Mains are deploying now. We can see we're about 700 meters up. And down we go into the highlands. Magnificent. With the amount of Delta V we have, this is absolutely a viable way to land. No doubt about that. We can pretty much guarantee where we're going to land using this technique. So that's absolutely great. And down we parachute. Very gently at about 6 meters per second. And there we go. We'll recover these guys. And then we're going to hop back up to the station, because the station also needs to be deorbited at this point. We've got a bunch of Salyut stations to do yet, so that's definitely going to be a thing. KSP is attempting to crash on me, but I'm not going to allow that, so that's absolutely fine. It'll get loaded eventually. Just checking in here, we've got... Let's see. We've got Salyut-3 here. We've got Salyut-4, 5, 6, and 7, and then Mir is what we're going to be doing here. And then we're going to be doing the shuttle Mir program. We're kind of skipping portions of the shuttle program, but then we're going to go to like ISS construction, and that will be absolutely fine. So we'll allow all of this to proceed. And now we, of course, need to head back up, and we can get rid of some of this debris if we so choose. It's probably not a terrible idea to do. There's no crew in any of this debris, so no problem whatsoever getting rid of this. This is on a suborbital trajectory, that's fine. And now we need to bring down Salyut-3. So, the question becomes, when do we want to bring it down, right? And how? Well, there's a reason I kept around this fuel. At least a little bit of it. Okay, so at this point, we're going to transfer these guys back. So they are going to transfer over to here. We're going to transfer you as well, and transfer you as well. Perfect. We're going to hop around to orbital retrograde here. And we definitely see some bending happening here. That's not shocking. I'm just going to use this fuel here. All we've got is 148 meters per second to give this a bit of a shove. So we want to... Oh, that's a lot of shaking from this gimbaling. I'm going to turn off the gimbal here. Okay. That's probably not going to help all that much, but how long of burn time is this? 16 seconds? We'll see how that goes. Possibly poorly. We don't necessarily want to get this actually down into the atmosphere, though, with this push. So we're just going to bring this down a bit. This isn't too bad. Except we're going up. Yeah. That's prograde. We're going to flip this around to retrograde. That would help. We needed to control from the correct location. We were still controlling from this docking port, which made things awkward for us. We do lose a little bit of fuel there, but that's not a big deal. We burned about half of this fuel. We'll burn the rest in putting us back to where we were. That's fine. So downward we come. Okay. Last little bit of fuel burned out here. We did get a little bit of extra out of that. Cool. So at this point, this decoupler, yes, we are going to decouple this. Actually, no, we're not. I want this to be suborbital. So let's just depart the station here. We're going to undock this. And let's bring this part way down. Okay. Actually, let's just undock it like that for now. And then we'll bring the station down, and then we'll bring these guys down, is the way this is going to go. So, we need to activate these engines. That would help. And we've got a lot of fuel, right? Like, a lot of fuel on this engine. Those engines are also very loud. Let's have the periapsis go down to, like, exactly 0. We want this to burn up on re-entry, but I kind of doubt that it will. We'll see what happens. I mean, we could... 0.49? Okay, we're not going to be able to recover. But that would be kind of interesting if we could. Okay, minus 225. Good enough. So we are in a terminal orbit here. We'd kind of like this to be a water landing, but it's going to be a land landing in the middle of this city. I'm sure it's safe. I'm sure it's extraordinarily safe. It'll be fine. That'll be absolutely okay. So downward we come here. Actually, you know what? I'm going to keep burning off surface velocity here in hopes that we are able to land in this water. Splashdown would be far better than landing in the city. But we do want this thing to burn up ultimately, right? So that's completely fine. We're going to lose our solar panels. Burning up is ideal. Landing biome is now water. Beautiful. We don't want to lose additional speed. We're just going to cruise through the atmosphere here and see how much we can actually burn up. Actually, I think we're just going to impact the water and splash down. Yeah, that's all this is. Heat shields are so necessary. Honestly, they're more valuable for drag in Kerbal than they are for dealing with heat. Places like Eve, you absolutely do need a heat shield. Okay, so downward we come here. We are still decelerating. We're not going to survive this impact, of course. But this will become like a fish habitat. Perfect. There will be no problems with all of that fuel. Absolutely none. So there we go. We've deorbited Salyut-3. And next up, of course, we need to go to the tracking station. It claims that to be a catastrophic failure. It is false. That was intended. And we're going to deorbit this Soyuz now. So, how are we going to end up doing this? Because I want to ensure that this bottom stage is in a terminal orbit. So, to that end, looks like sometime around here-ish. Yeah, we want a land landing, so something like that should work reasonably well. We'll head on over to the node here. We don't need RCS on. The question is, what can we do about this? Well, we can move some fuel down. I don't know that it's ideal, though. It's because it's not ideal. We can do it, though. So we're just going to say, move the fuel in here, all of it. And this has some fuel left now. Claims to be 5 seconds of burn time. That's not true. The game is kind of confused at this point. That's fine. We're going to move the fuel back. We just want to get this into a terminal orbit so that we are, like, policing our space junk, right? Because that will become a problem if we don't. I mean, if I didn't untrack it. In KSP, that makes it just get deleted, right? In reality, that just makes it get more dangerous. So that's fine. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1, 0, and mark. Okay, so we've got about 30 seconds of burn here. We just want to pull this down until this is in a terminal velocity. So we're going to do something like that. Beautiful. Now we're going to pull this fuel back up. Like so. And yeah, this does mess up our timing a bit, but that's fine. Now we're going to stage this. Like so. And continue our burn. Excellent. So we'll bring this on down. And hopefully we're definitely skirting this. Okay. Let's see about bringing this on over this direction a bit. So I still want to be kind of retrograde, but I want to be bringing this on over. And we can see that it is starting to move. We don't have... Actually, we have a lot of Delta V still at this point. So I'm going to get rid of this. We're just going to burn kind of this direction, where we're still reducing our horizontal speed, but we're trying to turn and twist our orbit here over to being landborne. And that is indeed what is happening. At this point, I want to go directly over to the normal. I feel like we have enough killing of our horizontal speed happening here. And we just need to bring this on over until it's about here or so. Once it's here, then I'll be happy. So come on over. We're technically increasing our horizontal speed a bit right now, which is not necessarily what we want, but we'll call that good for changing our actual orbital direction here. Surface velocity minus is, of course, our next target. And let's warp until, once again, we're at about 100 kilometers here. Okay, so that's 150, 120, and 100 kilometers. Fantastic. So we're going to begin a deceleration burn here. We've got about 30 seconds of fuel left, and let's just bring that right on down. Cool. So we're in surface velocity minus right now, and we can see our speed is kind of low. We are now out of fuel. And so let's hope we're not on too steep of a trajectory here. But I don't think we are. We are in atmosphere right now, and we should be starting to get a decent amount of drag here. Yeah, we can see this is starting to decelerate. And we strike that, but it's going to make its way on out. We're still accelerating for the moment. We're about 40 kilometers up right now. There's not that much air between us and the ground at this moment. But now we should be starting to slow down. We're not slowing yet. Now we're slowing down. Okay, cool. So we might have some decent G-forces here. And we need to cut our speed roughly in half. Oh yeah, we've got those G-forces ramping on up. I'm not shocked about that one. Oh, they're really getting up there. It's a very steep re-entry. No doubt about that. But we're good. No problem whatsoever here. We don't want our staging to be like this. Okay, drogue chutes out. And down we go. Mains out. Perfect. And we're going to be landing in this, like, forest clearing over here. Not in the city, which is good. Of course, these aren't real cities. They're just textures. But landing in the city would probably not be the best idea. Just saying. So downward we go, and that's another space station to scratch off the list. So that is absolutely great. No problem whatsoever here with that one, and we do have a bunch more Salyuts to go. Let me just mark Salyut-3 off of the list here, and we of course need to get 2 payments at this point. I didn't know that Alt F11 opens scatterer settings. Interesting. Alt F12 opens the cheat menu. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So that gets us both of those missions done. And let's just gently touch on down here. Phenomenal. We lose our heat shield on that one, but it's okay. No big deal whatsoever. So that is Salyut-3 completed at this point. Next up is Salyut-4 and 5 and 6 and 7. We may accelerate this process a little bit because that feels a little repetitive. I don't know. Maybe we just skip directly to Mir. I'll have to think about that. We'll see. The other Salyuts, I think what I'll do is I'll look up to see if there's anything interesting about them. Or if it's just more of the same. If it's more of the same, we'll probably skip directly to Mir. If not, we'll probably do the interesting things. But that is a job for next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible. including ALS Gamer, Shadow Wolf, Andy McGar, Spartan News, Nick Smarty, Dimitri H, Punching the Microphone, Soccerman12 UK, Kentogan, and all the rest. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video, and as always, I will see you all next time.